Wait to see what that guy's going to do when he gets that ball in his hand. Your heart's racing. Boom. Goes all net and they win the ball game. That's the same thing as selling cars. A sale can start good, a sale can start bad, but it's how we finish. Selling a car on an individual basis, okay, I'm a firm believer that if a deal starts on a good note, it ends on a good note. If it starts on a bad note, it ends on a bad note. Car deals are just like relationships. If you get with somebody and things are bad out of the first couple days, cut bait and start fishing. Period, point blank. I don't think anybody would have a baby with somebody and said, I want to go ahead and beat children, would you? But if you get somebody that says, hey, I want to mother your children, I'm going to treat them great, I'm going to do everything you want me to do, that's the kind of woman I want to be in love with. Car deals are like love stories. If they start on a good, positive note, they're going to end on a good note. What I mean by that is nothing personal. I might go into your customer or go in and talk to your customer. They might think I look like a little overweight version of a white Barney or something like that. They might get offended and not want to do business with me. I might come get him, her, him, or him, because in sales, the master salespeople mirror the customer, and they can relate to the customer, because when they come in here, guys, girls, when they come in, they've got a wall up. That's their defense mechanism. They've been programmed in their minds to think they're going to rip me off, they're going to cheat from me, they're going to lie to me, they're going to steal. You notice, you up somebody on the lot, what's the first thing they tell you? What's the first thing, guys? Just looking, right? What they're looking for is a salesperson. A sales professional, someone that's going to provide them with enough information that they're going to make a buying decision. See, when the customer says no, the only thing no means to me is I have not got enough information yet. If they say no, that means you haven't told me what I want to hear. You haven't provided me with enough information so that I can make an educated decision. Because if you give them everything they want, it has to end up a love story. It's an unnatural motion. It's an unnatural act to come in here. Forget about these flyers. We agreed these are a tool. It's an unnatural motion or action as a human being to come into a place of business and not do business. I'm getting ready to get married. I'm going to go to a jewelry store and go look for a diamond ring. Even though I might tell myself in my mind, my defense is going to go up because, hey, let's face it, as salespeople, we can lay down as quick as anybody, right? Is that fair? We get emotional. People buy out of emotion. But when I go in there, I know in the back of my head, even if I'm just looking, if I go in the mall and I'm there to buy a pair of shoes and I want to get married in a couple months, we haven't set a date, I know there's a chance, just a shadow of a chance that I might buy a ring. There's a chance these people are here to buy a car. I don't believe anybody comes in here for this. You know why? Because there's a reason. When they open this flyer up and they open this envelope, it's been addressed to them in their name and they get it. And if they've got enough time in their day to call or to stop by, there has to be some chance that they're going to buy a car. Now, I want you to take this to mind, okay? Anybody ever watch that show, The Bachelor? Who's ever seen the show, The Bachelor? I've only caught it a couple times. Let's face it, working 12, 15 hours a day. Who's got time to watch sitcoms, right? But there's been a couple times I've been off, kicked my feet up. I'll start watching some TV. And the funny thing about the show, The Bachelor, they bring all of these beautiful women into this room with this guy. It's an eligible bachelor, if you notice. See, he's eligible. It's like the people that come in here, they're eligible to buy a car, most of them, unless we get someone that has bad credit. So in other words, they have the ability. That guy has the ability to marry one of those women, or they never would have put him in the room with them. But guess what? You notice on the first night they have the rose ceremony, they bring all these gorgeous women in, okay? So they took him to the candy store and they're showing him all of the flavors that are on display. Okay? He can't make a decision on the first night. What does he need to do to make a decision? He needs to sit down with them and spend time with them. Because he's not so superficial to think, oh my God, she's beautiful, I'll take that one. If somebody came in here and says, I'll take that car right there, who wants to sell it to me? Chances are, and I've been through enough of these deals, they are not the kind of person that's going to be qualified. Who's had that experience in this business? Somebody want to sell me a car today, they point to a car. Sure, people come in and lay down. There's also people that get married and fall in love on the first shot. That doesn't happen very often. But the point of it is they put him in this room with all these beautiful women. Sure, there's a lot of ones that by the bird's eye view, he can look and say, I'd like to be with this one or that one. It takes weeks and then months of spending time with them, listening to them, making sure that's the person he wants to spend his life with. A car, people trade every 3 to 5 years. That's their trade cycle, every 3 to 5 years. So when they come in, they want to deal with somebody that knows what they're talking about. We talked the other day about a restaurant. We use kind of like life scenarios and stuff like that. I think you guys know why I talk about restaurants. I got a little weight on me and I like to eat. Speaking of which, anybody ever ask a fat person for directions? Think about that. If you ask a fat person for directions, I'm going to tell you, go to McDonald's up here, make a left, go 2 stoplights down, you'll see a Burger King. Y'all hit Wendy's, you went too far. Okay? That's what you get. But we agree, we don't want to eat at a restaurant where there's nobody in the parking lot, because chances are that's a bad restaurant. There's a reason there's nobody there. People want to do business where business is being done. There's people in the showroom here. But furthermore, when I go into that restaurant, even if you recommend it and there's people in the parking lot, and I ask somebody a simple question like, what's the horsepower of this vehicle? What's the capacity? What's the load capacity in the back of it? What type of safety features or amenities can you offer my family? It's the same as if I go into a restaurant and I say, Jeff, what do you got on the menu today, bud? And if he says, well, I don't have a clue. The cook's in the kitchen over here, and there you can sit down right there. I'm going to get up and I'm going to leave, because I want to deal with somebody that's a winner, someone that's knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about. And if you don't, go get someone that does. Sit down next to them and don't talk. Just nod your head yes. Look, ready? Everybody smile. A smile greets a smile. People mirror each other. If you nod your head yes, they're going to do the same exact thing. The point of it is, you sit down in a restaurant, you want someone to ask you, what type of meal are you looking for? Because we're not mind readers, and neither is that waiter. When they come in here, ask them flat out and use their name. Because let's face it, a man or a woman's name is music to his or her ears. Is that a fair statement? When you deal with someone, if I say, Mike, I need you to do me a favor. Steve, I need you to do me a favor. We're friends or we're co-workers. My guard is down with you. If I'm saying sir, ma'am, miss, that's very, 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 very impersonal. Miss Ethel over here, if I call her ma'am, she about slaps me. She says, my name's Ethel. That's who I am. She's not Mrs. Cook. She's not ma'am. Sure, it's respectful, and you can do that when you first meet them, but once you're breaking that wall down, you need to, at some point, get their name and implant it in your head. I want to do business with someone that I know. The #1 reason people buy cars in America, forget about this super sale, this dealership, anything. It's the same everywhere you go. I've been in every state selling these cars. People want to do business with people that they know. People buy cars. This is the #1 reason people buy cars in America. They did a study on it. The #1 reason people buy cars. Anybody know what it is? #1 reason is because they like the salesperson. Period. It doesn't matter what they're selling. It doesn't matter what they're doing. When I first interviewed with Mike Nolan to come work for this dealership 3 years ago, he said, it doesn't matter if we're selling Daewoo's out there. They're going to buy off big no matter what. We could be selling Daewoo's and they're going to buy them because they like the man. When you go into a deal, you got to know these people and they got to know you. So that's what I'm trying to get through to you today. The #2 reason people buy cars in America, they feel like the salesperson genuinely, the word genuine, there's no fake in that. There's no lies. There's no deception. We sell from strength and not weakness. We don't lie, cheat, and steal. We put it all on the table. People buy from people they like. #2 reason is they felt like they genuinely got a good deal. Well, guess what? If you're going to give me $4,000 off, you're genuinely concerned that I don't have a down payment. If you're going to give me $77 a month, you're genuinely concerned about my finance. I'm going to buy it from you. If you're going to give me an extra $1,000 for my trade today, I think you're genuinely concerned about me. So if you show genuine concern to these people and they like you and they like the car, just like when I go into a restaurant, if I get a waiter that says, I think you should get this, 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 and this. How many people have went out and bought something and you got that guy or you got that girl that's got some click in his walk and they have some confidence, right? Going to a restaurant, I think you should get the steak. I would recommend this, this, and that. Truth is, when I go into a place, if the guy's that confident about what it is, even if I don't like it, I'm eating it because he says it's good. You have to believe in what you're selling. So today, we're going to pay you again for doing your job. Everybody give yourself a round of applause if you sold one yesterday and you got that spit. All right? We're looking to pay today. If you do 10 cars, we'll get that in just a minute, okay? If it was my way, I'd have the money and I'd hand it to you in person. But I'm just here to work like everybody else. I can promise you this, though. We will have your money today. Get paid today. If you sell a car today above and beyond your commission, really, let's take that out of the equation. No one sells cars. If you sell yourself today and you're successful in doing that, and you get someone to take a car home because they fell in love with you and the idea of the sale, and they bought the sizzle and not the steak, because that's what got me in the damn restaurant in the first place. It's the sizzle and not the steak. You can buy steak anywhere, but if I can smell it on the street, I'm going in there to get me a steak. Well, it's $100 delivery at 10 cars today. Come on, let's go. 10 cars today get you $100 delivery. Hang on, guys, we're not done yet. 15 cars get, I'm going to give some more money out. You ready? 15 cars get you $150 delivery. 20 cars.